And welcome everyone to the first game of the series. It's gonna take place on Ghost Lake, and we have Mayans from Sebastian. I was expecting the civilization to be used over here by the bull player. However, it's gonna be versus Cumans. So Mayans versus Cumans for Sebastian and TaToH respectively. The players are playing the blue and red colors, and this is going to make sense. Also, kind of represents their flags a little bit, so it's like a national team. And Sebastian with the Mayans will begin with one extra villager, so you can see already the villager difference between the players is going to be of 1. Well, not anymore. And Sebastian went for Loom right away. Yeah. But then on top of that, the Mayans will also, they will begin with one extra villager at the expense of 50 food, right? But then on top of that, they will also have 15% longer lasting resources. 10, 20, and 30% cheaper archer units in the field castle and imperial ages. And on top of that, we'll have for the Mayans also a discount. A 40% discount on walls, while TaToH Civilization on the other hand is going to give him the possibility of going for a second TC in the village. He's going to have the possibility of going for a siege workshop or for multiple siege workshops in the village, and this will allow him to go for rams in the village specifically only. While he's also going to have access to the captain upgrade in the castle age onwards. Besides that, Cumans will also get a 75 wood discount on stable, 75 wood discount on archer ranges. And for the team bonus, Cumans also get extra HP on palisade walls. Now you will notice that the game actually has the big trees over here. And anybody who thought that I already had the big trees by default, well, no, those are medium trees. And because of a bug that took place on the back end of the game servers in the last week or so, the mods have been actually acting kind of weird, so I'm gonna have to fix that for game number 2 hopefully. But yeah, hopefully now you'll see the difference between standard big trees and the trees that I use usually. And if you don't see it right now, hopefully you're going to see the difference once we jump into game number 2 with the proper mod enabled. For the time being though, no mods. Nice deer push from TaToH. Let's take a look at the map generation. With Mr. Sebastian, starting with Sebastian, the bull player, he gets the main gold forward, so this is not the best position. He's got the secondary golds on the left-hand side towards the west and the northwest as well. This one is pretty safe. This one not so much. This one not so much, really. Even if he goes for the walls and tries to connect the gold with the walls like this, I guess that's going to work because he's playing against Cumans and he cannot really expect archer aggression early on or else anything like a tower push or something like that. But yeah, it's not ideal, right? In the later stages of the game, he'll certainly want to secure this one. As for the stone, we have the main stone on the back, which is fantastic for him. And he's got the secondary stone on kind of the back over here. It's kind of side-ish towards the southeast. But if he goes for the walls that I am suggesting over here, which I think is going to be the most sensible thing to do, either that or potentially something like this as well, is going to be fine. Even if he doesn't get quite as much surface area over here to work with, that's not going to secure any extra resources going for the walls like this, right? But yeah, even if he goes for something like this, he secures both the stones, he secures one of the goals. That's going to keep him going at the very least until he gets to the castle age and has the possibility of expanding outwards and trying to secure some of the extra resources. TaToH Scout, though, is already getting some vision over here, and the Scout from Sebastian has been pushing the air for the most part. And TaToH's going up to the field age 19 population. Now, this is very, very standard for Cumans, as he's going to try and get the second TC up as early as possible. And then try to play for economy from that point onwards, right? But he notices that Sebastian is very much open still by the time he gets there. If he doesn't see any militias coming out or something like that, he could try to go for a little bit of aggression, maybe go for a few scouts and then delay the second TC and go for that later. As for TaToH's map generation, the red player, on the other hand, he gets the main gold Where is the main goal? Towards the south over here. And interestingly enough, it's far away from the TC, and he's even going for the walls in a way that will prevent them from securing that. And check this out. This is not the first time that I see TaToH go for these walls, and as opposed to going for something a little bit safer like this, he's probably expecting to see militias coming out at some point because of the barracks over there, and he wouldn't be wrong. He wouldn't be wrong. Like this, he does end up securing one stone, and that's it. No golds, no wood lines. And guess what? Here comes Sebastian. He's got the militias already. He's going for it with the scout, and he doesn't really know if TaToH's gonna be open by the time he gets there. He's gonna try nevertheless, and now because he's got gold miners, we know that the next step's logically going to be an archer range, and indeed it is. Needs to keep that spear, man. Spearheading into the economy from TaToH to see exactly what kind of protection the red player has put up, has set in place against the militia. So he knows on the right hand side about the walls already, right? So he's not gonna waste time trying to go through there. He should expect at this point in time, however, that since TaToH is aware of the militias because of the scout keeping track of the units earlier, and the militias being so slow, there is no way for him to go over the left hand side because TaToH is most likely not gonna manage to get the walls over here pretty easily. So he's just gonna try to break through over here. For the time being, he cannot really do too much, but check this out! TaToH does go for the scouts first! And he's got a villager! Now he's trying to get another one, and he got another villager. It's looking good for the red player. He's got the scouts still roaming around. He could have tried to target some of the villagers over here for sure, but because many of the scouts were low HP, going after 2 villagers at a time would have been risky. He decided to go for the one on the left-hand side, the forager, but that one got quick-walled pretty easily by Sebastian as well. But still, the damage has been done though. TaToH taking 2 villagers down is fantastic. Puts him in a very good position where he's got 1 extra villager compared to the blue player, despite the fact that Sebastian is playing with Mayans. And on top of that, of course, if TaToH were to go for the second TC, he should, and there we go, the second TC is coming up. He should be able to start pulling ahead even further, while Sebastian, on the other hand, is very much stuck in the village, trying to put pressure. Once TaToH gets the second TC up, it's very unlikely Sebastian will be able to get any damage down on the fuel H anymore. So he'll need to try and make a play for the castle H. Now once he gets there, assuming that he clicks out to the castle H after TaToH gets the second TC up and TaToH is actually able to sustain production from both these TCs at the same time, you will notice that Sebastian will fall behind at the very least by 12 villagers. And because he is already behind by 2 villagers, that will actually go up as high as 14 to probably even a couple more villagers, 14 to 16 villagers for TaToH of a lead by the time Sebastian gets to the castle H. And by that point, you know, like, only God knows how close TaToH is going to be to the castle H himself. So yeah, Sebastian won't be able to make a play for economy himself once he goes up, and instead is gonna need to go for 1 to see full push. Nice archer cleanup from TaToH, taking the archers down from Sebastian right away. Nicely done. There we go. This is looking good. Sebastian is putting pressure, but TaToH is not budging. I get pushed away from here for a little bit. One of the things that I was worrying about TaToH's current base layout is the fact that he does not have any wood safe at all. So the archers can actually be extremely effective over here, and Sebastian has taken the time to go for fletching already. So these archers actually do have enough range to push the villagers away. Once again, we are going to have medium trees. Once again, you can see that there is a big difference already between big trees and medium trees. Like, it's so hard to even see the villagers over here behind us, but anyway, we'll be enabling that for game number 2 once again. There we go. Tower on the way now for TaToH.
Shot it. Ashike.
Here we are. Big engagement on the way potentially. Sebastian, he's gearing up to go up to the Castle Age, but man, this is so much worse than I was expecting for Sebastian. I thought I was gonna try to rush the Castle Age as soon as he failed to breach through TaToH defenses, but he's taking so much longer. TaToH's already been able to extend his villager lead to 7 extra villagers, so 6 extra villagers, 7 very soon, 8 even. And by the time Sebastian gets then to the Castle Age, TaToH's gonna be ahead already by 20 villagers, and he won't be too far away from going up to the Castle Age himself. So Sebastian is definitely under a lot of pressure to deliver over here, under a lot of pressure to get some damage done. So that's in Sebastian's strategy. Playing long field against Cumin cannot be a good idea. Exactly. So he's going up to the Castle Age right now, right? And there is a big villager difference already, and TaToH's gonna keep on going. He's got both the TCs actually queued up, and he's got a strong enough economy to keep them both queued up. He's got an almost strong enough economy to go up to the Castle Age. And Sebastian is 1 minute and 35 seconds still away from the Castle Age. TaToH's gonna be there in no time. He's gonna be able to click up himself in no time. So Sebastian won't even be able to get to the Castle Age before TaToH clicks up himself. And this puts the red player in a beautiful spot. Sure, the villager lead is not going to be quite as massive for TaToH once Sebastian gets to the Castle Age, as it could have been if TaToH just kept both DCs producing villagers as opposed to going up, right? But it's still going to be pretty good. This TaToH can go for a 30C potentially much earlier like this, going up to the Castle Age a little bit earlier. So in any case, this is just going to be a little bit worse for Sebastian in the long run. Gate is open though. Gate is open. The scouts are there. Good quick walls from Sebastian. Lot of archers for the Mayan. And the Castle Age is here. Meanwhile, TaToH is 1 minute and 45 seconds away from the Castle Age himself. Fantastic. By the time the Uruguayan player got to the Castle Age, the villager lead has extended to 17 extra villagers for TaToH. And Sebastian going for the second and third TCs over here, in my opinion, is a huge mistake. Trying to catch up against the Cumans on economy after a sustained feudal game seems like just asking to pull further behind now. Sebastian's gonna try to keep on putting pressure over here. He does have the archer range is still working, and he's got a 4 siege workshop. TaToH's getting a defensive siege workshop. He's gonna get to the Castle Age very soon, of course, but the Cumans can't get siege workshop in the feudal age already. So he gets to the Castle Age right now. He's going to have the siege workshop already up to work with as well. Mangonel on the way. Yes, and TaToH is looking alright. He's got almost enough resources to go for a castle, right? Which he needs. The extra walls he's gotten up did end up securing some extra resource over here. Now the question is, does TaToH know about it? He knows. So he could send some villagers over there to try and and collect from wood safely without having to worry about the crossbows. The right hand side, we have 2 towers for TaToH. He ended up going for these though, as opposed to going for the castle first. Oh! That was a good shot, a good reaction from Sebastian as well. TaToH almost gets a bunch of crossbows down over there. Kind of unfortunate though that TaToH had to go for the towers over there, otherwise he would have been able to go for a castle very soon. And the cave chest gives him fantastic mobility and raiding potential. But yeah, now he needs to go either for the 30C to make sure that Sebastian does not catch up. As TaToH still has the lead, he needs to do something in order to secure it, in order to keep the lead. Otherwise, it can be rough. Hey, Blue Turnip. Hello, welcome. There we go. Getting control from both these players. Villagers going down right away, and the shot from the mangonel TaToH is not good enough. Sebastian manages to keep his own mangonel up. However, TaToH is gonna keep on putting more pressure. There is another gold over here on the back that Sebastian's gonna be able to collect from. We took a look at his map generation, and it seemed a little bit better in that regard for gold compared to TaToH. TaToH's, on the other hand, is a lot more exposed, which is why he was forced into the towers, right? And now he does have a 30C finally on the way. However, the villager lead has reduced already, as Sebastian is only 10 workers, 9 workers behind compared to TaToH. 30C should allow TaToH, at the very least, so long as both players are able to keep all TCs working, to keep up with each other's villager production, in any case. There we go. TaToH's managed to come in to break through defenses from Sebastian, the red player. He's got some step lancers. Not too many right now. For the most part, it's going to be skirmishers, which suffices as Sebastian is not going for eagles. I mean, he is, but he's not been going for eagles pretty heavily, right? He's got only 1 and 2 more queued up. And these are Eagle Scouts as well, so these are not even Eagle Warriors. So TaToH's getting away with a lot. Getting 2 villagers down. The snipes from the red player, nothing but incredible. And there we go. Crossbows, the mangonel, the Eagle Scouts come against the skirmishers, and TaToH's gonna have the bail. But back home, the red players we know to defend against Sebastian's push really well, and you can see that there is no more. A mangonel over here for Sebastian. He's going to end up losing the siege workshop forward, and he's got a defensive siege workshop coming up because of it. Fantastic. Who are you rooting for, guys? Oh! That was a little mistake. I did adjust the zoom widget, by the way. Now it's a little bit larger and a little bit thicker. We'll see. Yeah, you can see 1 archer down over there. Yeah, it seems a little bit better this way. Sebastian seems to be thinking of going up to the Imperial Age. TaToH is only one villager ahead at this point. He's already lost most of the eco lead that he had. And remember, Sebastian's civilization with the 15% longer lasting resources is going to be extremely good when they are on the same work account as their opponents. And let's take a look at their economy time. Oh boy! Oh boy! Sebastian has completely caught up! When I said earlier that it was a huge mistake for him to just go for the extra TCs and try to play for economy, that was under the assumption that TaToH would go for an extra TC as soon as he got to the Castle Age to retain his worker lead. But it seems to me now that there is also a little bit of a mistake on TaToH's part over here. Sticking to 2 TCs for such a long time. Going for the extra towers as opposed to prioritizing the castle. Going for a very lackluster push over here as opposed to focusing on fast imping, for instance. And of course, hindsight's 2020 always, but yeah, this should not happen, right? You're fighting in the Fuel Age for a long time against the Cumans. You are bound to fall behind, but TaToH kind of dropped the ball as the Cuman player. And Sebastian, in my opinion, got away with something he shouldn't have gotten away with. But of course, coulda, woulda, shoulda. What difference is that going to make? The game went as it went, and Sebastian was able to catch up, and now TaToH. Now TaToH is gonna be in a little bit of a rougher position. What does he get once he gets to the Imperial Age? So, Cuman archery is not going to scale too well because of them not getting bracers, so cave checks are not going to be the best. And especially range units against Mayans is extremely risky because of not only Elite Eagle Warriors with El Dorado being so good for the Mayans against any range units, but also the possibility even of Hulchi Javelineers. So, TaToH's going for the Imperial upgrade. He's going for the Imperial Age upgrade, right? He's going for Chain, Bar than Armor, and he's gonna try and make a play instead for Cavalier by the looks of it. It works, it's good. It's going to be very expensive. That is not something that Sebastian will be able to fight against just with Archer units. And even with Eagle units, he would need El Dorado and the Elite Eagle Warrior to just have the Eagle Warriors work as a meat shield against Cavalier, while the Arbalesters shred the units from behind. But TaToH does have, of course, the possibility of going for Paladin as well, and he's saving the resources. And take a look at that. TaToH's going. He's going for it. I think he's going for it. Is it chemistry, ring archer armor right now, conscription, stone, gold mining coming up. Many of these for the skirmishers, of course. Many of these upgrades. But then he's saving still food and gold like a madman. He's gonna try and go for the Paladin upgrade. I remember there used to be a time where going Paladin in a 1v1 was almost unthinkable. Like, if you ever got to Paladin, you pretty much won the game already. Like, it was like getting to fully upgraded elite Mangolai, right? You cannot let your opponent get to that. It's way too greedy. But these days, it is a lot more common. Of course, it doesn't happen every time for civilizations with access to Paladin, but we see it a significant amount of time. So TaToH has got the Cavalier upgrade, finishing researching right now. Play Bar than Armor is on the way. He's got chemistry just finishing researching as well for the skirmishers. And Paladin upgrade should be on the way, and he's got it! Paladin is coming up now for TaToH. Sebastian does not know better. Second castle on the way now for TaToH as well. Trebuchets, Cavalier on the way. Strand the massive units. How much gold does he have access to? So this one on the left hand side is going to have about 1800 left for TaToH. Plus 600. And then he needs to secure this one, so he's going for a castle over there. That's good. And ideally he would want to secure this one on the right hand side. I'm not really sure if he actually has vision of it. He doesn't. So for old TaToH knows, he's got a few thousand extra gold left to work with between the neutral gold that he's securing over here and the golds he's got back home still. So that's going to be less than 5,000 gold that TaToH's got to work with in order to actually get Mangolet production going. Meanwhile, Sebastian is going for the pikeman upgrade just in case he hasn't seen any cavalier, but he is expecting TaToH to be going for that because of just how inactive and how uneventful the Imperial Age has been, right? Like, TaToH's not going for Kipchak, he's not going for light cavalry. I mean, he could be going for light cavalry, he could be going for Hussar, but regardless, the pikeman's going to be a good upgrade. And here comes TaToH, and now Sebastian's gonna be absolutely certain of what TaToH's unit choice is. And we should see Halberdier coming out very soon. Sebastian is in the market right now very heavily, so he can go for Halberdier. TaToH's coming in with a fairly small amount of paladin, mind you. What do we have for Sebastian to defend himself with? He's got 2 castles very close together, so they do not really defend the rest of his economy, right? So the paladin just get to the left-hand side. Completely uncontested. The barracks are here. The Halberdier upgrade's finally coming up, but Sebastian took a little bit too long to research it, actually. But the paladin already getting away with a lot of damage. And TaToH is running rampant. Yeah, with a small amount of paladin, he will actually be able to collect a bunch of villagers. 7 villagers already. That's not even going to be the end of it, right? He's producing from 6 stables, so this is only going to get harder and harder for Sebastian to fight against. Yeah, and still, actually, 3 of the paladin are still alive and getting more damage done. Sebastian drops under TaToH's work account by quite a bit. The arbalists are coming up. It's gotta be careful. TaToH could very well go. Well, maybe not now, right? Going for Onager and Paladin would be too expensive, so it's just gonna keep on going for the skirmishers. But imagine one big Onager shot against these arbalisters while the Paladin are trying to surround them. That'll be, oh, so good. Also on the way for Sebastian only now. Actually, that is... yeah, much later than I was anticipating. Here we go. Beautiful. This is the surround that I was talking about. There's a lot of arbalisters, but that is a lot of arbalisters going down. And boy, oh boy, that was not a good fight for Sebastian at all. While TaToH gets to 200 population and gets to stick to 200 population. It's got a lot of paladin queued up, a lot of skirmishers queued out. The trebuchets are going after the castle right away. Sebastian's trying to bring the villagers over to the castle foundation, actually to the base of the castle rather, to try and keep it up. But with only 7 villagers over here, it's not going to suffice against double trebuchets. Yeah, and this castle is going down. Just one moment, as Sebastian has already lost one castle. This is going to be the second one crumbling, and then he does have another one on the left-hand side, but it's unlikely that's going to change much of anything, given that TaToH's push over here at the center does not really care about the fortifications to the sides, because Sebastian's got the majority of his economy on the back at the center, and the paladin from TaToH are getting so much damage done around the farms too. You could call measly paladins have gotten already 11 villagers killed from Sebastian, and as the blue player drops under 120 population right now, he goes on to call the GG, and TaToH goes on to take game number 1. And that was a really interesting game for sure. It seemed as if TaToH should have taken it much earlier than he did, and it seemed as if Sebastian was going to be able to come back in the end, while TaToH made it impossible for the bull player to actually effectively catch up. So, well played. Well played, TaToH. In later stages of the game over here, showing great decision making, great strategizing, and fantastic execution to go with it. Great plays from the great player. Let's take a look at the achievements. We'll see a better military stat for TaToH, collecting about, or getting actually better than 3-2 KD ratio against Sebastian. For economy, a stronger economy for TaToH as well, with about, that is 16,000 extra resources compared to the bull player. For society, villager max count looking better for TaToH by about 14 extra villagers. Well, he ended up losing about 23 villagers over here. Sebastian, on the other hand, ended up losing 88, so a lot more. Regardless, though, we'll play it. And we'll jump into game number 2 when we can. And game number 2 is here indeed. Sebastian will be playing with Japanese, a more standard civilization for this map. TaToH, towards the southeast in the red color, is going to have the Khmer instead. So, Sebastian civilization, 50% discount on drop-off buildings, 33% faster attacking infantry units starting in the field age, in addition to 5, 10, 15, 20% faster working fishing ships with twice the HP and plus 2 pierce armor, will round up the standard civilization bonuses for Sebastian, while for the team bonus he gets galleys with 50% extra line of sight. Unlikely to be of too much relevance over here unless he went for one preemptive galley wherever he decides to start going for fishing ships, so that he can keep an eye on the shoreline and potentially prevent any villagers from getting any sneaky docks up, right? That's the great thing about the galleys. Not only is Sebastian with the Japanese gonna get extra line of sight, but because those are the only units that can actually target the villager behind. Oh! Damn it! I forgot to enable small trees again. Or medium trees, rather. Shit. Yeah, there was almost no downtime between game 1 and game number 2, alright? That's gonna be my excuse, but for game 3, we're gonna try to do it. If we don't do it for game 3, we're gonna do it between the first and second series for sure, because they're just taking forever between series. Very long breaks, and yeah, anyway, let's continue going for the civilizations, right? With the Japanese, yeah, galleys, the extra line of sight is going to be a little bit easier to keep an eye on the shorelines, and as it's the only unit that can actually target the villager that sits behind a dock foundation, it's going to be also the only unit you're going to be able to use to stop a potential sneaky dock effectively. TaToH, on the other hand, playing with the Khmer, he's going to have 10% faster movement battle elephant line units. Not really sure that's going to be relevant over here. As a matter of fact, I don't think so. But then on top of that, the Khmer get also the ability to garrison 5 villages inside each house. They will have no building requirements to go up to the next stage and to go for extra buildings, so you do not need the mills for farms, you do not need the mills for markets, that kind of stuff. Barracks for archer ranges. Besides that, we also have, for the Khmer, farmers who do not need mills or TCs to drop food on. For the team bonus, finally, Scorpion weapons will get 1 extra range. Scorpion line weapons will get 1 extra range. So anyway, first dock is already on the way from Sebastian. He gets a discount once again, right? So that kind of allows him to go for this a little bit easier. And TaToH, on the other hand, TaToH's going for the dock on the right-hand side, so far away. Does he not know about the dock down the south? He's a little bit closer to it. Yeah, he probably didn't realize. Well, is he actually a little bit closer to it? It's kind of hard to tell because of the way that the isometric view works over here. Anything from left to right is going to be farther away than something, you know, south to north or down to up when accounting for the same pixel distance. So I would say this might be actually probably about the same. It's probably about the same. Yeah, I would say it's probably about the same. It doesn't really matter too much. Map generation next. As Sebastian is already starting to get the walls up. Let's see what we get for the bull player. It's going to have the main goal on the right hand side. It's going to have the secondary goal on the back. The other secondary goal is going to be towards the southwest. And we have the main stone towards the south and the secondary stone towards the northeast. Very, very far away. It shouldn't be too difficult for him to try and wall himself up in a way that's going to secure the pawn, but he's going to need to go for some walls like this, right? The problem with that, though, is that it's going to be very difficult for him to protect, like, this area of the walls. Unless he sent villagers over to this stone or something like that. But it shouldn't be too expensive, right? Though, right? Because if he gets the walls towards the berries and then towards the DC like this, it's not going to be too expensive, and he will be able to secure the wall line. He will be able to secure 2 golds, 2 stones as well, and the full pond, of course, which with the Japanese can be fantastic. Hey, Cliffy! Hi, how are you doing? Welcome. Burden's going alright. Let's take a look at the red players map generation. We're gonna see for TaToH, the main gold on the left hand side and the secondary gold towards the south. The other secondary gold is on the right hand side, but notice that because of the way that the map has generated for TaToH over here, is not going to be quite as possible for him to go for the walls the way that Sebastian could go for the walls towards the edge of the map. So TaToH is most likely not, if he wants to secure this, if he wants to secure this, gonna need to go for something like from here to here, perhaps, something like this. And then maybe something like this, and even that's going to be kind of pricey. But he will be able to secure a wood line, for sure. 1 stone and 1 gold, which is going to get him going until he gets to a point where he'll be able to start expanding outwards. Village is here, ready for Sebastian. Oh, he's going for the walls towards the lake. Well, this is also good, because by getting the walls up over here, if he goes for a single galley, he can just place it on the right hand side around here, and that's already, like, if he patrols it from here to here, he's already going to get vision to prevent any dogs from coming up, any sneaky dogs from coming up. So I guess you could say this is going to be his line of sight into the edge of the pond. Apple's coming out for TaToH. Not wasting any time on that nonsense. Just getting the outposts up. Well, he does have 2 ponds to protect, so it's going to be a little bit rougher for him if he has to go for navy just to patrol the shoreline, right? There we go. Another dock's on the way for Sebastian. Nobody is sending villagers forward to get sneaky dogs up at all. At the very least, that was the case up until this point, but now the TaToH has seen the dock coming up only now from Sebastian. He actually will send 2 villagers up in the north, so he's gonna try to go for 2 docks and deny Sebastian from the water completely. Meanwhile, if we take a look at the blue player and his point of view, he knew about the dock coming up down south and he did not send villagers forward. So he's not trying to prevent TaToH from collecting fish, he's just trying to secure his own fish. But once again, though, he doesn't really have the best vision. He did send one of the fishing ships towards the south over here to try and get vision of it, of the pond. Meanwhile, up in the north, he doesn't really have any vision of this, so TaToH should be able to get both the docks up. It's gonna be the first player to go up to the castle age as well. TaToH, that is, and Sebastian. He's not looking the best, guys. He's not looking the best. He's not gone for as many fishing ships as TaToH has gone for so far. And that's true that the Japanese get 10% faster working fishing ships already in the field age, 15 in the castle age. Now the fishing ship count is actually equal between both these players. But Sebastian seems to have been the first player to try and make a play for land, as TaToH's only now going for his first skirmisher, although he did have one scout come out actually, so that might not be entirely accurate. And Sebastian, on the other hand, Sebastian already had a few archers. So he's been going for, at the very least, the archer range since earlier. But the stable from TaToH is at the very least not going to come at any extra cost compared to Sebastian's military production. Because he did not have to go for a barracks at all. So he went for the stable and the archer range at the same expense that Sebastian went for the barracks and the archer range. So I would still say Sebastian has invested into land a little bit earlier. Still though, both players will go up to the Castle H at about the same time. And what to expect over here? Well, Sebastian, he will be trying to hold on to the pawns as a Japanese, so he's probably gonna get the war galley upgrades, probably gonna try to get water control up in the north over here. He's got one fire galley on the way. Unfortunately for him, he ended up going for a single fishing ship, but take a look at this fantastic move from Sebastian. He was taking a lot of damage over there. What does he do? Well, he just moves the fishing ship closer to the dock so that the fire galley from TaToH is not going to actually target the fishing ship anymore. It's going to collide. The projectiles are going to collide, right? The fire over here is going to collide with the dock, and we could see Sebastian do the same with the villager over there. And in the end, well, now TaToH realizes, so the fishing ship is going down in the end. Oh, good reaction for Sebastian. He noticed the scout was low HP and he took it down right away. Villager's too low HP for TaToH to take it with a... for TaToH to lose the scout to the villager, but the spearman over there from Sebastian should at the very least be able to protect the villager. Guys, it's here for both these players. 6 seconds of difference, and TaToH goes for the second TC right away. Sebastian, he's got the stone to go for extra TCs. He does not have the wood. Bolso is on the way for him. TaToH's going for Bolso as well. There's been saving a lot of resources, despite the fact that he's been able to go for extra fishing ships compared to Sebastian. The reason for that is that Sebastian has been investing a lot of extra resources into land units. He's got a lot of archers over here. TaToH's got some skirmishers. But overall, his unit production to eco balance, right, has been a little bit better compared to Sebastian. And TaToH is going to take the archers down over here by the looks of it. Yes, sir. One goes down only though. Sebastian gets a knight out, pushing the skirmishers away, and TaToH has done a really good job reacting so far this game. Notice the moment he realized about the dock coming up in the north from Sebastian, he sent villagers up right away. He sent 2 villagers to go for the double dock. The moment he saw a knight pop up from Sebastian, he right away plays a monastery foundation over here, and it just seems like TaToH's just done a better job, right, of keeping up with everything for the most part. Take a look. There it goes. Sebastian, status reaction once again has been impeccable. Even if he's ended up losing 2 villagers so far, TaToH still manages to get himself 11 workers ahead because of having access to 3 pawns, right? And overall, the red player is looking fantastic. Got pushed away by the knight with the skirmishers earlier and reacted instantly, went for the monastery. Got raided on the wood line, reacted instantly. Was able to push those archers away. And boy, oh boy, is Mr. Sebastian in a pickle here once again. TaToH manages to stay ahead, and over here he reacts beautifully as well. Sure, he's going to end up getting a little bit of either villager time, right? But check this out. We have the monks already going after the knights. We have the scorpions coming in. We have the skirmishers coming in. Sebastian's going to start putting some extra pressure from the left-hand side with the siege workshop. Could be really good. He doesn't not getting pushed away from here. He probably realizes TaToH should be coming this way. Yeah, I think he saw the scorpions, right? With the crossbow over here up in the north. So he ends up walking away. But still, the skirmishers are here from TaToH. Does not have ballistics, but will still be able to get some of the skirmishers down. And even if he ends up losing the skirmishers to the knights, or does end up taking a few archers, sorry, crossbows down. But even if he ends up losing a few skirmishers... There we are. He's already managed to get a lot of damage down. I mean, check that out. He cleaned up the crossbows from Sebastian. He converted one of the knights. And now Sebastian, he's got another wave of crossbows coming in from the left-hand side. But TaToH already has a mangonel. He's going to take one mangonel down for free. If he plays his cards right, might be able to take this mangonel down as well. He might be able to even get the crossbows down with the mangonel. At this point in time, TaToH is on 3 TCs versus 2 TCs from Sebastian, so he's gonna keep on getting further and further ahead in villager count. Right now, 17 extra workers, up from 10 just a minute ago. And the mango battle ensues. Here we go. Mangonel goes down already for TaToH, so Sebastian. It's able to resume pressure, but TaToH's extra mangonel gets a good shot, and that's gonna be another one, and another one going down. Sebastian gotta be careful here. TaToH's reaction is always impeccable, bringing the villagers over to repair the mangonel right away against the crossbows, and he does end up pushing the blue player away. Now TaToH will finally be able to take advantage of his extra economy to collect the resources he needs to potentially go up to the Imperial Age. He's got the goal already. He doesn't have quite the food right now, but shouldn't take too long for him to get that. Sebastian, on the other hand, very soon will have enough resources to go for the castle, but if he was hoping to go for a fort castle, which I imagine was probably the case because of all the pressure he was putting, that's not going to be viable anymore. He's gonna have to try and get some pressure going again if he wants to get the fort castle. Otherwise, he's gonna need to go for it defensively. What is a defensive castle going to give Sebastian right now? Not a lot, which is why he's not going for it right away despite having the resources. He's trying to assess the possibility of going for a fort castle, which is going to be much more impactful in the current situation of the game. Like, Sebastian has not been under pressure. He's been the one putting pressure up, so he doesn't need the defense castle. Instead, he would certainly prefer to go offensive with it. But TaToH, well, TaToH's been able to push Sebastian away. He's on a much stronger economy. 28 extra workers right now compared to Sebastian. Up from what was it, like 16, 18 earlier. And of course, TaToH's economy is looking very strong as well. So very soon he'll be able to go out to the Imperial Age himself, and then going for a fort castle will be naive from Sebastian. Interestingly enough though, TaToH is actually spending a bunch of his resources trying to get the pressure going over here against Sebastian, as opposed to Just saving to go out to the Imperial Age. He's got ballistics. Leather archer armor. A bunch of knights coming up, and it seems like he's gonna try and make a play for the Castle Age as opposed to playing for Imperial. Alright. Here come the Knights to hold the Magnet. Let's able to prevent the walls from coming up, and the Knights are coming in. TaToH is streaming his units straight into Sebastian's economy, and the blue player is in a world of pain. Oh boy. With Chain Bar and Armor already researched, the red player is actually able to sustain the push over here by a lot, by a long time. So he does end up getting a bunch of villagers down. You can see already, Eco KD favors TaToH by a lot. Yeah, but he's gonna stop going for any extra military units. It seems like finally TaToH is gonna start. Yeah, saving the resources to go up to the Imperial Age. Now that was really bad for Sebastian, unfortunately, for the yellow player, for the blue player, sorry. And TaToH also had some villages on the way to get a 4 castle up. And in the end, TaToH is gonna be up 2-0 against the Uruguayan player. Let's go through the achievements as usual. We'll see for military, a better KD for TaToH, surpassing 3-2. While for economy, we have a stronger economy for TaToH as well, collecting about 4,200 extra resources, right? So it's really, really well played from TaToH. Well done. Let's go back. And here we go. Game number 3, the final one of the series is starting. We are catching up. And we are completely caught up. I hear that. Non parlo italiano, but you're not bad at all. You're not bad at it. Well, grazie, grazie mille. I wanted to say the tanto tempo, but I wasn't really sure if that was the right way to say for a long time, but regardless, or since a long time, I guess that'll be more accurate. But anyway, Sebastian, guys, is gonna make use of Saracens for game number 3. Well, TaToH does have Italians over here, so he does go for the more predictable civilizations, and this is certainly going to be a change of pace for TaToH. While up in the north, Sebastian playing with the Saracens on the other hand is probably not going to have necessarily the most expected civilization. He did have Portuguese, but yeah, Saracens are going to be just as viable. Well, Portuguese get the extra HP on heavy units, and they're going to have them for cheaper. The Saracens instead will get faster attacking galleys, which means with a very small amount of units, let's say you get 4 galleys, that's already going to be so effective in the long run, as much as having 5 galleys. So he could go forward with a smaller amount of units and get away with a lot more damage done as well if he plays his cards right. We'll see. Saracens then, what do we get for Sebastian? Besides the 25% faster attacking galley bonus we already mentioned before, we'll get also for the Saracens cheaper markets that trade resources for cheaper. Cheaper, actually extra HP on camels, 10%, 10 extra HP rather, not 10%, 10 extra HP, a flat amount of HP boost for the camels. And then in addition to that, we'll also see for the Saracens, here we are, for the team bonus, 2 bonus damage from archer units, foot archer units. Against buildings. I think that's about everything. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. Oh, I was missing also the transport bonus. Yes, the transport gets twice the HP and can transport 5 extra units. That's going to be pretty irrelevant over here though. TaToH, on the other hand, playing with Italians, is going to get a 15% discount on fishing ships, which is good. It's going to get a 15% discount to go to the next stage, which is fantastic, of course. And then in addition to all of that, we get 20% cheaper gunpowder units, 33% cheaper dock and university upgrades for the Italians. And for the team bonus, we'll see that Italians get access to condottieri from the barracks in the Imperial Age. So that's going to summarize both these civilizations. What is the official language of Argentina? Español! The Latin American version, although our version is slightly different compared to the rest of Latin America, except for Uruguay and parts of Colombia, which also have a similar version of Spanish to ours. But yeah, you could say it's like a third variant. Or dialect, perhaps? Would be the way to say it. Yeah, we have a different conjugation for the U pronoun. Singular U. We call them vos as opposed to tu. And then in Chile they also have another variation. But yeah, I'm going on a tangent over here, sorry. Let's take a look at the map generation. The players are going out to the field age, so we'll get some action very soon. Starting up in the north, we're gonna see Sebastian. He's got 1 goal. He's collecting from already towards the northeast, and I already have the Million Trees mod, by the way. But it's not showing over here because I haven't restarted the game. The other goals on the left-hand side, we have a stone on the left-hand side as well over here. These are too far away on the left-hand side for the bull player to collect, and on the right-hand side, these are too far away for him as well, but he doesn't really have too much of an option. So he's just going to go and take what he gets. Meanwhile, TaToH, he gets to the field age and he's got a second dock already on the way. Let's take a look at the red player's map generation. He's got on the left-hand side, a goal. On the right-hand side, another goal. Stone on the right-hand side, stone on the left-hand side over here. These ones on the left are a little bit closer compared to the resources from Sebastian. So I'm liking TaToH's map generation, especially if he ends up going for the walls, like from here to here, here to here, and here towards the TC. It shouldn't be too difficult, and he should be able to protect both these resources as well as the wool line. And then if you can call this a wool line, he can also secure that one and the berries. Oh wait, actually I think these are the small trees. Or not the small trees, sorry, the medium trees already. Yeah. I think these are. Third dock's on the way for Sebastian. He already has some galleys coming out, and while TaToH beat him to the fuel age, he is only on 2 docks, and he's going for the third. And 4th galleys, while Sebastian, well, he is going for the 3rd and 4th galleys as well as the 3rd dock, so shouldn't that coming out on top for sure? But TaToH will get the first kill over here. First eco kill in any case. Yeah. Both players already lost their scouts earlier, by the looks of it. Probably when we were taking a look at the map generation. Yeah, it seems like it was probably around TaToH's base. Probably. But anyway, on paper, Sebastian should be able to get better trades over here because of having 3 dogs versus only 2. However, TaToH has control the units a little bit better, and as such, he's going to end up getting another galley down over there that is so close, but he will get it. Yes, sir, and that's going to be 4 versus 2. So Sebastian will have to spend extra resources trying to catch up to TaToH's unit count. However, because he is with the Saracens over here, it's not going to take too many units for him to catch up. Is it live? Where can I rewatch the first 2 games here? You can, if you're watching on desktop on your browser, you might see a button to rewind the stream by 2 minutes underneath the stream feed. If you don't see it, then you can scroll underneath the stream. I'm not really sure if it's actually underneath or on top of the video of the live feed. There's going to be a videos link. If you click on it, you will see this broadcast as one of the latest videos, and then you can click on it and then you can rewind. And this is live. Yes. Silver arrow. You can also click on the link the Turnip has shared over there, and then there is a button over there to watch the rest of the broadcast, and that's going to take you to the bot page for the current live stream. We have more units right now for Sebastian. TaToH is just going to try to prioritize going after the Castle Age. This is a little bit greedy for TaToH. This could be really good for Sebastian. Notice TaToH is going to try to go up to the Castle Age instead of going for extra units, right? So he's got just 6 galleys to work with against 10. And he's got the sea tower over here. If he can defend himself with the sea tower and hold on until he gets to the Castle Age and get a few extra galleys out, he's going for he's going for demolition raft actually. Is that a misclick? What does he want the demolition raft for? Does he want to take the fishing ships down maybe? Perhaps. But yeah, if he can hold on until he gets to the Castle Age, then getting the war galley upgrade should actually give him a fighting chance. Not against Sebastian's current units, and not like this. Not like this. TaToH does not have right now the numbers that he needs to go out into the open, so he takes a risk and he gets clapped because of it. And now he certainly does not have enough to get a better engagement against Sebastian, even with the war galley upgrade, so he definitely needs to get the docks to work already, and he does have already fire galleys on the way. Yes, fire galleys are going to be necessary, but Sebastian could do the same thing that TaToH is doing right now once he gets to the castle. It's just bail back, try to defend himself using the sea tower, and prevent TaToH from actually approaching these units. And you know what? Because of the amount of units Sebastian's getting right now, plus the extra units he's going for, it's not going to be difficult for him to get the war galley upgrade and get full water control, right? The war galleys will trump fire ships for sure. The strike with demo. The demo could be good for taking the fishing ships down with a single hit, but I don't know. Now it seems pretty much useless. TaToH gets to the castle age and he's got 3 navy units to fire galleys, not even fire ships, right? 2 more on the way, and then the demolition raft already queued up. Oh, actually, he already garrisoned even. We got the upgrades on the way for TaToH and Sebastian. Only 20 seconds away from the castle age. He's gonna have 11 war galleys to work with. TaToH. He has another demolition ship on the way. Yeah, might actually be able to take a better trade over here. Sebastian does not pay attention. That is the key though. It's not really going to be out to TaToH, it's going to be out to Sebastian. So long as the blue player is paying attention, he should be able to. Where's the war galley upgrade for Sebastian? Where is it? Oh boy, oh boy! He was not expecting TaToH to be going for any extra navy anymore! But TaToH's got it here, and these are standard galleys! And if TaToH plays his cards right, he might actually be able to get a better engagement over here. We're gonna see a good unit control from TaToH. Notice how he dodges the shots from the galleys, but the cat's out of the bag now. Sebastian will be in high alert because of spotting the demolition ships earlier, and it's unlikely that TaToH will be able to get the good shots that he was hoping for. However, we see the war galley upgrade coming in for Sebastian. He's got some fire galleys on the way. Sebastian was trying to go for a forward TC, and he realized about TaToH, so he's going for a siege workshop instead. Let's take a look at this. This could be really good for TaToH. Once again, could be in the keyword. We'll see the fires over there, and the demo shots are not good for TaToH. So that was good reaction from Sebastian, and now he's got the meat shield to work with the fire ships over here in addition too. A lot of war galleys still left alive for him to get full water control. It's unlikely TaToH will be able to come back and water over here so long as Sebastian pays attention to his units. And the only thing that TaToH's got going for him is the extra TCs. He does have 2 additional TCs compared to Sebastian, who is on 2 TCs total, so only 1 additional TC for the bull player. With the Italians, TaToH's gonna have access to all the monastery upgrades except for heresy, so if he realizes about the siege workshop, I'm not really sure if he knows about it, but if he realized about the siege workshop, or if he was expecting, he was anticipating to see siege come up against his TC on the right hand side, could go for a few monks and redemption and he'll be fine. Sebastian, on the other hand, he's got the Siege Workshop, but no extra TC over here, no Monastery, so it's not going to be much of a smush, right? There we go. Greedy approach from TaToH didn't pay off. Yeah, absolutely agreed. And he went for the walls that I was expecting to see from him, but he went for the greedier version even. He ended up securing the extra wall lines as opposed to using these to connect the walls to the edge of the map. He ended up going for even roomier walls, and he's gonna be fine over there. So Sebastian's not putting any pressure. And then on the right hand side, TaToH's got a monk. He's got another one on the way. Needs to go for redemption. Either that or get a better trade, right? He's got Zone Mangonel. And Sebastian will get pushed away most likely. He's got no TCs to protect himself, just Siege Workshop and a mining camp. Third TC finally on the way for Sebastian, coming in a lot later compared to TaToH's and already falling behind by about 8 workers despite being the only player with access to water. Sebastian has not been going for fishing ships at all. This version of Shoals actually does feature deep fish, so there is a lot of value to be gained by getting the fishing ships out, and Sebastian has simply not been prioritizing that. So getting water control over here in the end didn't really give the blue player much of anything. And TaToH, well, TaToH's getting a nice mango shot against the villager over there. That's gonna be a beautiful mango shot against Sebastian. And my lord, TaToH gets a fantastic trade with a single mangonel, taking both the mangonels down from Sebastian in addition to the repair villager. And honestly, I don't know what Sebastian can do anymore from this position. It doesn't seem like he's got too many choices, honestly. So for the chat again, where can I find the video section? I never find it when there is live stream going. You can do exclamation mark VODs, and that's going to take you there. Otherwise, you can just do twitch.tv/novayoe/videos, whichever is more comfortable. And that's going to take you to the video section already. And then of course you'll get to see the first 2 games. To rewind the current live stream. No problem. Once again, the command is VOD, VOD, exclamation mark VOD, for anybody who might want to use it. VOD with a V, VOD, as in video on demand. Well, the game has civilized now on the right hand side. Oh, it's VODs actually with the S at the end. I had forgotten about it. Yeah, sorry about that. In the end, it's probably just easier to type videos at the end of the URL, but yeah. VODs with the S at the end. Oh boy. Hey, there we go. Redemption's coming in for TaToH. Not that he needed it though. You got it? And if you're watching this on YouTube, by the way, the video section of my Twitch page contains all the videos that are going up on YouTube, plus more, because I don't upload all of them necessarily. to YouTube, and they are usually available several days before they are available on YouTube as well. So you might want to check that out as well and see which series you can get access to earlier on Twitch. But of course, it's not going to be the same experience as watching on YouTube for sure. Plus, there are a bunch of tournaments that I did not upload to YouTube at all from past years that are available in my video library on Twitch as well. That you'll be able to find for like Master of Hyper Random, which I did not upload to YouTube, but I provided close to 100% coverage for last year. And Return of the Clans as well. The RMS Cup that I decided not to upload to YouTube because I couldn't provide coverage for a big chunk of the last section of the tournament, unfortunately, due to getting sick. Sebastian's coming in with a big push though. TaToH gets the conversion, but that's a lot of knights coming in from Sebastian. TaToH is gonna be in the Imperial Age very soon. He doesn't really have too many military units to defend himself with, but on the right hand side, he's got 2 TCs and the castle. Well, he's got 1 TC and the second one is on the way, and then he's got the castle over here, so he should be able to hold on. Sebastian push is looking very strong and might be able to get the TC down over here. I don't think he's going to take this castle down. I don't think he's going to take this TC down. That's coming up right now. Yeah, and I think TaToH is going to survive just fine. He still has, at this point in time, 14 extra workers compared to Sebastian. He's still safe down south, and so long as he does hold on to the east over here, in some form or capacity, it should be in a good spot. He's gonna start going for his own night push, guys. 1 minute and 10 seconds for TaToH to get access to the cavalry upgrade. There we go. In my opinion, it's worth uploading those games anyway. Games early on are more rarely covered than later games, so it would complement other casters. Just my opinion, though. Oh, it's also not just that I did not upload because the tournament is sold. When I started uploading stuff to YouTube earlier last year, I started by uploading a tournament that was like 6 months old already, Terranova Duos. So it's not about the age of the tournament, it's mostly that there are just so many freaking videos and it's going to spam the crap out of everyone's feed, and having to manually set every video not to show up on the feed for everyone is just too much of a chore given the amount of videos available. So because they are going to stay up indefinitely, they do not expire on Twitch. Like, just for archiving purposes, it's fine already to keep them on Twitch. And then from this point onwards, everything is going to go up on YouTube in addition to Twitch. And also the process of actually having to manually export like 100 videos. Beautiful. TaToH's got the treasure already out. There's a DC coming up for Sebastian. I don't know about that, man. And where are the villages, actually? He's not sending any villages. He was probably the case that Sebastian tried to get the TC up with these villagers, and then he ended up having to send these back to repair the castle. So TaToH doesn't have Cavalier. He has a very small amount of knights. As a matter of fact, Sebastian is in a much larger army compared to the red player. The only thing that TaToH's got going for him is plate barred armor right now, which Sebastian does not have, right? Bracers on the way for TaToH as well, and he's got handcart, so his economy will be at the very least a little bit stronger compared to Sebastian, not just by villagers being more numerous for the red player, but also by having better upgrades with handcart, bowsaw. Yeah, and it seems like TaToH stabilizing really well, right? Where are the Knights from Sebastian, actually? He's sending these back. He's sending all the Knights to defend against TaToH's... defend against TaToH's raid attempt over here. This is not good, though. He will certainly clean up the stables, and he will certainly prevent TaToH from putting pressure anymore, but... TaToH is going to have a lot of time to get control of the right-hand side once again. As long as Sebastian is not putting pressure up over here, and TaToH's getting a lot of time to get some of the Genoese crossbows out. Sending some villagers over the left-hand side as well. He's going to try to go for a castle. TaToH is readying himself up to push Sebastian away from the left-hand side. And check this out. This is so unlike what most of the players have been going for on this map in the past. Sebastian's got nothing to protect himself up on the left-hand side. He's got no defenses, no fortifications, no TCs, no castles, no nothing. He's bringing all the knights over, but once again, just knights won't suffice from Sebastian. TaToH is getting the quick walls up over here, and the castle's coming out for sure, so... Sebastian crumble on the right-hand side. He is about to get pushed away from the left-hand side, that he's got nothing to defend himself with, and he's got nothing to defend his position on the left with. And TaToH will be the only player with access to go left, right? Especially as the red player keeps on going for more and more Genoese crossbows. Sebastian is going to find that cavalry does not really work out for him anymore, so he's gonna need to make a play for something else. And what can he go for? That is the problem, though. Sebastian, he can go for fully upgraded arbalisters and cavalry archers. The cavalry archers will get completely clapped by the Genoese crossbows, and the arbalisters are actually not as good as TaToH's. Because while Saracens do get bonus damage against buildings, that's the only thing that's going to set their archers apart compared to other civilizations. TaToH still have all the same upgrades. He'll still have all the same upgrades compared to Sebastian arbalisters, but because of Pavise, TaToH's archers are actually stronger than Sebastian. So the only thing that Sebastian has to go for against TaToH is actually not even going to be any stronger, right? And then I guess skirmishers could potentially counter both Genoese crossbows and arbalisters from TaToH, but obviously with a very versatile civilization the red player is making use of right now, he could go for his own Hussar, for instance. He could go for Cavalier, so he's got plenty of options. And check this out, the castle's getting the knight! The castle's getting the knight, and we have like cavalry already from TaToH right next to the defensive archer ranges from Sebastian. He's going for hand cannoneer. I don't like that. I don't think hand cannoneer is going to be the answer for Sebastian, but once again, it's very hard to really put the blame on the Uruguayan player. Like, what do you go for over here, right? We already established arbalisters won't work. We already established any sort of cavalry is not going to work. Siege? Maybe, but he would need something to defend that with. Against potential for cavalry from TaToH, against the potential for siege for TaToH, as he can even go for his own bombard cannons, right? For 20% cheaper, so it's not the best for Sebastian, not the best position for sure. And going for hand cannoneer over here, I think it was just a matter of not really having any other options. So that's going to be 3-0 for TaToH. The Spaniard over here gets away with a clean set. Flawless set, no losses. 3-0. And he looks fantastic. East Argentina. Oh, yeah, don't say that while Sebastian is around, though. Yeah, well, better KD for TaToH. Approaching 3-2. Well, for economy... Although, to be fair, I'm not really sure anybody will actually want to be part of Argentina given the current situation. Dude, 95% year-on-year inflation, year-over-year inflation in Argentina. 95%! It's a record since 1991, come on. And then you ask me, why would you want to move out of Argentina? Well, go figure. And I'm not alone. I'm not alone. A lot of people are actually trying to flee, right? It's not related to the game, so let's keep on going through the achievements. Better KD as well for TaToH. Fantastic. Close to 9,000 extra resources. Let's go back and wait for the next series of the day. If you do exclamation mark schedule, you will see what the next series is.